Hi everyone, I hope you've all been enjoying the reading and the videos for this particular module. Now for this week's research skills component, we'll be looking at risk of bias. So, what is risk of bias? Risk of bias, to put it simply, is whether an element of a study has introduced some sort of error or deviation that may cause the results to over or underestimate the true effect of an intervention. So this means that risk of bias is part of the consideration of the internal validity of the study itself. Now, is this risk of bias a big issue in studies? Well, is bias a big issue in all studies? The existence of risk of bias tool used by the Cochrane Review people means that it is important enough for us to actually have a good look at it. So for this week, we'll be looking at how the risk of bias 2 tool, or ROB tool, can help us to systematically examine the biases within studies we're interested in. Elaine Coulter has included in this week's learning a series of videos on risk of bias. Now the videos are introduced by Dr. Matthew Page. Dr. Page is currently a research fellow at the School of Public Health and Preventive Medicine at Monash University, Australia. His research interest is mainly in the area of evidence synthesis, and he does quite a good job of explaining what risk of bias is within the videos itself. So have a look at the videos and then download the ROB2 crib sheet, which is a list of all the questions that you can consider for the risk of bias, and start to analyze the risk of bias for the paper that we'll be looking at this week. That is a paper by Professor Lorna Paul and Dr. Elaine Coulter. Now for this paper, this is actually a very interesting RCT that looks at the feasibility of a trial examining web-based physiotherapy in people with multiple sclerosis. The web-based physiotherapy program is in fact delivered by a social enterprise company called HRAF, and it so happens that HRAF was started by Professor Lorna Paul, so quite interesting there. Now for the Friday online session, we'll be starting to look at how to extract information for constructing an annotated bibliography. To do this, I've given you a task that involves extracting information about the study by Professor Paul and using some or all of the tools that we've learned about for the past 3 weeks. So things like Consort, Pedro, CAS, and this week ROB2. Now you then use this information to answer some of the questions that I've listed in a table that addresses the key information that will be needed to be included in an annotated bibliography. So bring your answers along to the online session, and then we'll discuss this in a group on Friday. Oh, I think that's all I have for you for now, and I'll see you all at the online sessions.